Welcome to our lecture about Internet security. Today we want to speak about weaknesses of Microsoft Windows systems and of Mac operating system Mac OS X. We'll discuss a few attacks and exploits. We already start to discuss design errors, vulnerabilities of operating system. They are very dangerous because via these attacks it's possible also, of course, to attack systems, application systems, databases and others. We saw that often design errors in the principle of a system or a protocol or implementation errors provide a basis that are misused by attackers which are able to exploit these weaknesses to attack systems. Let's start with having a look to Microsoft operating systems. If you look to the history of these systems, then since the early days, Windows tries to find operating system simultaneously for the home users. Here the idea is to provide very easy to use operating systems as well as operating systems for workstation and server systems. And the problem here is that in the home systems, the simple systems, there are very typically unexperienced users which use the systems, while the server systems and the workstations are run by IT professionals. So the problem every time Microsoft did provide the same basis for the both types of operating systems, and they were not able to find a good way to incorporate security in a way that home users, unexperienced users, are able to deal with the security features in the right way. So they distributed and designed operating systems for home users with simple graphical user interfaces and to do without providing so much security features. And on the other side, the second type for the server and the workstation operation, they offered a semblance of security for these systems. This was the situation up to 2001. 2001, up to this moment, Microsoft did not find a solution to combine, on the one side, a hardened, a secured operating system, and combine this with a simple graphical user interface that may be used in the right way also by unexperienced users. Because there are so many security features and so many details to configure and to bring into the right balance, so it was for unexperienced impossible to do this. And this is the reason, in the consequence, Microsoft developed two different systems. The professional one with all the security features, and for the home systems with a reduced number of such security features because home users, were not able to configure this and to work with this in the right way. This was the situation up to Windows XP. Windows XP was brought to the market in 2001, and there Microsoft for the first time was able to offer an easy to use security conscious operating system. An operating system that could also be administrated in a correct way by unexperienced users, by non-specialists. It was a long development and long thinking how to do this in the right way. So Windows XP became and was much more secure than its desktop predecessors, or its predecessors. But nevertheless, also these much more secure systems, these Windows XP systems, provide a lot of security leaks similar to Unix and Linux variants. And of course, since Windows systems were very popular. They provide a favorite goal for attacker to find leaks and to design exploits to misuse these leaks. When you are interested in the security features of the older systems, then you can go to the Teletast archive. There are lectures about this early Windows operating systems, for example, Windows NT or Windows 2000, and all the corresponding security leaks and weaknesses. Here in this lecture, we want to concentrate on the more recent system. Simultaneously, after discussing the weaknesses of the Microsoft operating system, we have also a look to the Mac operating system 10. It was widely assumed for many years that the Mac operating systems are secure. Are secure in a sense that there are no leaks that may be misused. Of course, we know all the software products have errors, have weaknesses that can be misused. In the early days, this Mac operating system were only used by a very small community. So for the attacker, it was not a favorite goal to work hard to find weaknesses of that systems to misuse this. This situation changed when the Mac operating system when Mac systems and Mac operating systems became more popular. Then also attacker focused on this system, and we will discuss at the end of the lecture a few attacks against this Microsoft operating system. So first in this lecture, we concentrate on attacks on Windows client-side systems, and later we have a look to weaknesses of the Windows Server and on Mac OS X. And when we start with discussing some client-side attacks, we will discuss in this lecture SMB, so-called SMB attacks. There are many different variants, so we will discuss SMB relay attack, we will discuss RPC, remote procedure call attacks, we will discuss Vista speech control attack, we will discuss attacks against or misusing the universal plug-and-play mechanisms, the UPnP attacks, they are a big variant, and we will finally discuss remote desktop attacks. So abusing remote desktop and abusing remote assistance mechanisms. Then we will have a look to the Windows Server attacks, and here we discuss in detail the Kerberos authentication mechanism, and later on we discuss Kerberos authentication attacks. We see how attackers are able to defeat buffer overflow prevention mechanisms. So the operating systems came with some mechanism to prevent buffer overflow, and even this mechanism can be defeated. And of course here we have only short time and only can discuss only a few of such attacks. The Windows systems are the most popular operating systems and most distributed, so there is really a large variety of attack variants. So I refer to this textbook, to the security barrier from Pekari and Shuwakin, published by O'Reilly. There you have a complete textbook about the weaknesses. Here we can only concentrate on a few examples. And then we will discuss we will conclude the lecture by discussing two weaknesses of the Mac OS X system. We have a look to the first OS X worm. that was every time discusses the OS 10 leap.a, and we will discuss some root shell exploit for Tiger and Leopard.